Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Nova Copy. It's one of the fastest growing businesses in the state of Tennessee, people. And if you're wondering, what do these guys do? Well, they find you ways to save money for your business. That's what they do. When it comes to the transfer of documents and information, they are the problem solvers, document solution specialists. They sell printers, they sell copiers, they sell scanners, they sell 3D printers, and unlike most of the folks who sell those things, the guys that just sling boxes, as they put it, they service them as well. So it's one-stop shopping to save yourself money when it comes to your business. Give Nova Copy a call. All right, and in this segment, we're joined by Bob, Mike, Jimmy. Chuck Cavaleris is over at the Nova Copy drawing board. And Chuck, what I want you to show, folks, well, you'll be playing Vanna here. Here you go. That's Tennessee's remaining schedule. 9 games left on the schedule, starting with Georgia, Florida, UT Chattanooga, then on down the line. Guys, Tennessee needs 4 more wins. Show me where the likely wins are, the likely losses are, or the toss-ups. We start on the road with Georgia. That's
I'm going to likely loss.
Likely loss, isn't it?
Likely loss.
You would think. I mean, I think they'll be closer to the prohibitive underdog in that game.
Okay, I don't get much argument out of you guys on that one. Let me get you to color that in a little bit, maybe tougher to see. Here we go. Yeah, just give me a big bold L.
You got it.
All right, Florida guys at home.
Toss up.
T. Yeah. Toss up.
Toss up.
T.
I think it's a toss up.
They struggled. They struggled against Florida. Against Alabama, they played well for a half. They turned the ball over a lot, but then in the second half, they got worn down by that Alabama running game. I don't know that Tennessee's got the kind of running game to wear them down. Thoughts on Florida? Toss up, everybody.
Yeah, I think it's a toss up.
My policy on Florida is I will never pick Tennessee to beat them again until they beat them again.
Yes.
So
see, I agree with you. I would
it looks like a toss up, but I make an exception.
You think it's a likely loss?
Florida.
The surprising thing is that Florida had 200 yards of offense. That's all. Their 21 points came on turnover.
I think the game could be 0-0. I mean, I don't see how Tennessee moves the ball against their defensive front. Again, they held Alabama for a half, and I think Alabama's more than a half better than Tennessee. All right, UT Chattanooga, that would be a win.
You would think so.
Let's go ahead and put that in there. Ole Miss on the road, guys. Their defense has been just as impressive as their offense so far, which is a little bit surprising. They're 1 year ahead of Tennessee in terms of Hugh Freeze starting and the type of recruiting he's done. They're a year ahead. You're on the road, a place where Tennessee has not done well in recent years. Win, loss, toss-up.
Likely loss.
Loss. On the road, young team. I just don't know if they're going to have much success on the road against hardly anybody.
I think the biggest hope for Tennessee there is a bad day for Bo Wallace. When he throws interceptions, they typically don't do well. When he holds on the ball, they typically win. So. All right, Alabama at home, that's a likely loss, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Then you got South Carolina on the road, and South Carolina's defense is absolutely horrible. Going into yesterday, they were dead last in scoring defense, total defense, rushing defense, pass defense, and third down defense. Vandy got 2 touchdowns on long kickoff returns. It was a Willie Gault performance from one of their guys. But Tennessee has lost its last 3 in Columbia. Win, loss, toss-up.
Loss. South Carolina at home is really good. A&M the exception.
Okay.
I'm going to go likely loss as well.
Same here.
Okay, likely loss there. Chuck, do you agree?
I agree.
Okay, now we've got one sure win written down there. Okay, so you got Kentucky at home, and they went down to the Swamp, played pretty well. Stoops, Mark Stoops is about at the same point that Butch Jones is. Hasn't recruited quite as well, but he may be a step ahead in terms of quarterback Patrick Tolles, who was a little bit more pretty highly sought after recruit. They viewed him as the next Tim Couch for a while. Your thoughts on Kentucky? Is that a win at home?
It's a win.
I'm going to likely win.
Yeah.
Likely
That's
win.
couching it a little bit.
Yeah.
Kentucky's
Tim
probably
couching
better
it a
not.
little
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I've changed a little bit on this, just how Kentucky went to Florida and took that game into overtime. I think it's actually closer to a toss-up than I thought it would, but I'll give it a likely win.
Toss-up in Lexington, a win in Knoxville.
Okay, agreed. I think that's a good way to put it. Missouri at home. Now, look, Matty Mock started, and he ate Tennessee alive last year. He started great this season with 3 new receivers. I mean, he lost his big 3 this year. Started well, and then somehow their defense just gave up a ton of yards yesterday to Indiana. Granted, an Indiana team that runs the ball well, but that loss at home to Indiana was very surprising to me. That would take it, in my view, from a win to a toss-up.
Toss-up for me.
I'm going to go likely win.
Okay.
I'm going to go likely loss.
Okay.
That makes it a toss-up, doesn't it?
They get a lot. They lead the SEC in sacks by the way. Going into yesterday, they lead the SEC in sacks.
I think Tennessee's offensive line is going to be better by November 15th.
Vanderbilt on the road.
22nd.
Unless when
Win.
Vanderbilt can keep returning kickoffs, I think it's a likely win.
Okay.
Win.
Likely win. So we have Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Chattanooga as your likely wins. That leaves Tennessee at 5-7, needing to win one, either Missouri or Florida at home to get to a bowl. Fair enough? Does that look
I think
right
it
to
is
you?
fair. I
Yeah.
think,
Okay.
and I think Tennessee's got a better shot now of going to a bowl than I did before the season started. I like the way their defense is playing. I think they can get to 6-6.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about the defense when we come back. Shazan Bradley, David Ligon back on the show. We're going to talk about the defense in terms of its strengths and weaknesses. Come on back on the Sports Source.
Follow the Sports Source online at sportsource.tv and on Twitter at SportsSourceTV.